All right. I think we are officially live here. At least it says that we are on my end. So today will be the last day that I'll be here at the lake house doing our coffee talk. On Friday, I will be back in the home office. Actually, I'm going to be heading back here in about an hour and a half. But I wanted to do my coffee talk with you guys. And today, I do actually have the coffee in hand. The other day, what was it, Monday, I spilled my coffee before I got on. So that was a lot of fun. So we had to scramble and get that cleaned up. And then I had to come over here and show up and do the coffee talk. So today what we're going to be talking about is I'm going to be sharing something in a little bit more detail than I've ever done before. And it's one of my first ever launches for a digital, well, it was actually a digital / physical product. And I'll explain here as we kind of dig in. Before I do though, I want to ask you guys, does my audio sound okay this morning? Is it coming through okay? I want to make sure. It seemed like it was coming in a little hot just because when I was looking at my levels. So let me know and then we can get rocking and rolling. Do me a favor. If you guys are here live, drop a comment in below. So this way here I can see who's here and we can get rocking and rolling. And it looks like audio is good, all clear. And yeah, I should also probably throw out there real quick that we are literally, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We are 3 days away from Brand Accelerator Live, the virtual workshop day, which is going to be all day long. It is going to be from 10 a.m. Eastern till around 6, probably going to go to about 7 o'clock at night. And we are excited about that. I am super, super excited about it. And actually in the next or over the next couple of days, I'll be refining some of my presentations, my workshops that I'm going to be teaching. What I also wanted to say that I've got, it just happened this way, but I've got a really cool bonus that I'm going to be giving all of our attendees that they're going to be getting before anyone else. And it goes really hand in hand with this whole build a digital product and offer it for sale following this same process that I've talked about here for a while. But I actually did that recently. The digital product is ready. It's hot off the press. And I'm going to be giving it away at Brand Accelerator Live during one of the sessions. And I'm going to show you also in one session, I'm going to show you how I created a digital product. Actually, there's 2 bonuses. Actually, there's one other digital product that we created that's going to be for sale outside of the event. But we're going to give it to attendees. Plus, there's another one that I didn't expect it to be done this soon. And it is done. It came out amazing. And I'll just give a little hint. It has to do with building an email list. It's really awesome. So anyway, I'm going to tease it out there a little bit, but that's another thing that you're going to be getting. If you're in BCA, Brand Creators Academy, you're also getting this as well. Both of those. So yeah, we just like to over deliver for our people. You know what I mean? So Tamara says, morning, Scott, sounds a little echoey, but we hear you. Yeah, it's going to be echoey in here in this room. I've got no padding or anything. It's all hard floors. I don't have any soundproofing. It's actually gloomy out here today too. I'm looking out at the lake, but it's still very, very gloomy. Today was the first day we've actually had some rain. All right, cool. So that's what we're going to be talking about though today, guys. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to walk you guys through my very first official launch that I did years ago and how it generated just over $12,500 in 3 days. And I'm going to walk you through that. And I believe there's about 8 steps to this process. And I've actually made that even easier nowadays, which I'll also be teaching at Brand Accelerator Live. So I just want to give a few shout outs here. Jamie, what's up? How are you? Good morning to you. Lydia, what's up? What's up, sunshine? Phil, what's up? How you doing? Salama says audio is good, all clear. Yep, loud and clear. Jamie says, Karen, good morning, Scott. Hear you loud and clear. Rainy here all day. Oh, that stinks. Michael, what's up, Michael? Coming through loud and clear. Tamara, morning, Scott. Sounds a little echoey. Okay, yeah, and I just talked about that. Let's roll. Awesome. I love it. You're ready to rock. Karen, what's up? Nigel, what's up? Good to see you, man. Jennifer, good morning. Let's see. Looking forward to both. Oh, cool. The Brand Accelerator Live. Yeah, and the bonuses. The bonuses are coming. Cloudy there too. Watching live from Spain. What's up, Brian? Thank you for watching from Spain. I always love to hear that. So do me another quick favor in the comments. Are you watching this in the group, or are you watching this on the page, or are you watching this on YouTube? Just curious. Let me know. I'm always curious to see where you guys are watching. What's up, Kyle? Good to see you, man. All right. So again, before I do get rocking and rolling, I probably should do this because we are literally 3 days away from Brand Accelerator Live. So if you're interested, if you have not grabbed your ticket yet, we have still tickets available for the live stream, which will be ending on Friday night. We're going to basically take those tickets away because live, the people that are going to be attending live, we want to make sure that we get them kind of in and get all their links and everything ready. So this way here, we're ready to go Saturday morning and we don't have to worry about that first thing before we kick off. So tickets are going to be available through this Friday, Brand Accelerator live virtual event, the full day workshop. BALtickets.com is where you can find those. If you have not yet grabbed one, you might want to do so. And someone asked the other day if there are recordings available. Yes, there will be. And there's an option for live plus recordings. And you can see that by heading over to BALtickets.com as well. And if you guys have any questions about the event or even just any questions in general, let me know in the comments. And then the last thing is if you are watching this outside of the Facebook group, for Rock Your Brand, make sure that you go to brandcreators.com/RYB. That stands for Rock Your Brand. And then what you'll do is request to join, fill out a few questions, and then we will get you approved. All right. So brandcreators.com/RYB. All right, cool. Quick sip of coffee here. And let's see here. Make sure that everything is running smooth. All right. On the page, confused where all I can watch. Okay, I just gave you the link to the group, but it will be broadcasted on the page. Let's see, morning. I'm in BAL group. That's where the Facebook notification came from. Oh, okay, Brand Accelerator Live. You're in that group too. Okay, cool. And Nigel says on the Facebook page. Cool. All right, cool. Let's get rocking and rolling. So let me ask you guys a question too. Who here that is either live or that is watching this later on the replay, who is interested in creating a digital product? Just a raise of hands. If I can see that in the comments, who is interested in launching a digital product eventually? Who's interested? All right. So do me a favor, drop that in the comments. All right, so here is the process. I'm going to walk you through this on what happened, okay? And what I'm about to share with you literally changed my life. It was like this massive light bulb moment. I had no idea what the heck I was doing, and it worked, and I was blown away. Now, at this time, I was running a full-time photography studio, running my video transfer business, which was a sister company to my photography business. And we basically launched this on the back of that. Okay. Had no idea if it was going to work. And we ended up doing it and it worked and it blew me away and it changed my life in a sense that it opened my eyes to a whole new world. What I want to do is share this with you so you can start to think to yourself, how could you apply this to your business? Now, what I'm about to share with you also, I just want to say this, it works to this day. And actually, I'm going to be doing it again here very, very shortly. And I've done it numerous times inside of Brand Creators and inside of The Amazing Seller when I was doing that and all of it. It all still follows this process. All right. So here we go. Ready? Step number one that I did was I started creating YouTube videos. Okay, now YouTube back then was new and it was easier to get traffic and there wasn't as much, going up on YouTube. So it was easier, and it was easy for me because I'm like, you know what? I'll just create a video, I'll post it on YouTube and we'll see what happens, right? And I did this with the only reason why I was doing it is to see, would I get anybody to view it? Would I get any viewers? And so I was posting videos, and they were random videos. The first video I ever shot was just myself talking about my wife and I, how we started a photography business from scratch, not going to college for photography, never taking a course, and figuring it out and launching our brick and mortar business and turning that into a six-figure business. Like, that was the story. And that was it. There was no call to action. There was no like, here, I've got a course for you. There was nothing, because I had no idea what I was going to offer, if I was ever going to offer anything. But even back then, it was always deliver content and, get people interested in what you are, sharing. And then from there, we'll see what happens, right? That was still the same thing even to this day, right? Same exact process. So created content, and I did this for about 6 months. And as I was creating content, I would get comments. I would also get people asking me questions, things like that, right? But I would say probably after the first month, maybe month and a half, I started to hear this thing about email marketing. And this is way back in the day. This is when email autoresponders were super new. There wasn't a lot of them out there. The big one out there then was AWeber. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get a AWeber account. I think I was paying, I don't know, $19 a month or something like that. And I put up my first landing page. And my first landing page was something like, I think it was something like, I may create a free video course. If you're interested, opt in here and I'll send you the link. Like something like that. It was something super, super like not obvious as far as like what they were getting. It was just like, hey, if you're interested in me giving you something, like walking you through this process, put your name and email address in there. Like that was it. And I remember probably within the first month, I might have gotten like 30, maybe 50 email opt-ins. And I was like, okay, cool. I got 30 or 50, let's call it 50 emails, So then I started to email these people. And then they started to, step 2 here was ask what they wanted to learn. So basically what I would do is I would send them a video and say, hey, I just shot this one video walking you through how to do this editing or something like that with Photoshop. Go check it out. And if you have any other questions for me, let me know. And then they started to kind of tell me what they wanted to learn more about. And it was about, how do I start my business in photography if I don't have the education and if I don't have a studio? And I'm like, well, I've done some Photoshop work in my day, right? I learned that, right? And I was actually able to enhance photos or create these fairy tale sets out of digital elements. So I'm like, maybe what I could do is help them by creating a studio look without actually having a studio. And that's where this moment came into play here, where I was like, maybe that's what I could offer them. So I started to give them little examples of what they could do free. And they were loving it. They were eating it up. They were like, oh, this is so cool. I love it. I can shoot my, my subject on a white background, cut out the subject, and then put them into a beautiful set. And it looks like they're in a studio. They were loving it. They were eating it up. So then I started to get questions like, well, how do you do it if you don't have more than a room 8x8? Or how do you do it if you, have a baby? How do you do it if you have a toddler, right? So then I started to answer all these questions, right? And then I kept giving them more of what they wanted, right? I kept helping them. So then I started to say to myself, okay, there's a couple things here. Number one, they want these digital sets, but they also want the education on how to make them work and also how to turn it into a business maybe, right? Or even a side hustle. So then what I started to do is I started to outline a plan. I started to outline in my own mind, and I started to scratch it out. What would it look like if I was starting over and I was using this process? Like, what would it look like? And I recommend this for anyone. you want to give yourself a timeline, or draw like a little timeline. Put a little stick figure on the left, draw a line across the paper, and then draw a happy face, right? What do they ultimately want to achieve, right? What would make them very, very happy, right? And what are the steps to get there? So for me, it was, they at the end over here, they want to have enough skill to be able to charge people for these types of services, right? So I'm like, okay, step one, what do they need to know? They need to know a little bit about their camera, but they don't need to get overwhelmed with all the tech. Then they need to know a little bit about Photoshop, but not too much. They need to have these assets that they can use, right? So I started mapping this all out, but I was giving them parts of this as well, right? And so I mapped out this plan. And then I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create an ebook, right? And I'm going to outline everything in this ebook. And I'm basically going to give it to them for free for the people that signed up for the email, the email opt-in that I was offering before. And so then I put this out there, and that immediately I had people on the list want to download it. Probably at that time, it was like a couple hundred. But then I put that up as my opt-in, and I let that be the opt-in for probably another 2 months. Okay. So at this time, we're about 6 months in. I had about 1,000 people on my email list. And then I said, well, you know what I should probably do? Because people were saying, I love the ebook, but I want to see over your shoulder. I want to see you actually doing this stuff instead of you just explaining it. And so again, I want to call a little time out here. A lot of people think that if you give it away in an ebook, you can't charge for it if you go deeper. And the truth is you can. You absolutely can. Okay. Perfect example of this is, I have the playbook, Brand Creators Playbook, that gives you how to build your brand from A to Z, right? But a lot of people still want me to show them looking over my shoulder all of the deep diving, all of the going deeper into those areas, email list building deeper, how to build a content or blog content that will get ranked. They want to know deeper, right? So I can always go deeper, and you can always go deeper. So never feel as though you're giving too much away. If anything, give them away, or give away your best stuff. And a lot of times they want it in other forms. So at first I was like, well, why is anybody going to buy it if I'm putting it in the ebook? But then I started to hear through the internet world and the internet marketers back then that, people will still want to buy from you because they're going to want more from you. So I said, you know what? I got nothing to lose. So let's go ahead and try this. So then what I started doing is I started to email the list, letting them know I'm thinking about creating a video training that will walk them through this entire process, okay? And I was going to give them some basically like digital templates for photography, okay? And these were like digital sets. And I said, I'm thinking about doing this. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll put you on the early bird list, okay? And from there, I started to get a few hundred people that were like, yes, I would love that. Right? I didn't give them a price. I didn't tell them what was going to be included. I just wanted to see who was interested. So we had 1,000 people, 300 people raised their hand and said, yes, I would love that. And 700 people were still paying attention, maybe, but they didn't raise their hand. But here's the thing. I knew that some of those 700, they just hadn't read the email, or maybe they weren't opening the emails for whatever reason. I knew there was going to still be more people in that pool of people that would want to buy it, but 300 gave me a good gauge that they would be willing to possibly buy it. But now again, I've learned through the years that people will say they'll buy it, but then when you actually offer it, they won't always buy it. So it's best to do what I call a beta launch, and you get maybe 20 people to pay you to validate it before you actually create the product. I learned that. This actually worked out for me, but I've also had other launches that didn't do it this good. And I learned that I don't build anything until people pay me. But again, that was a later learned lesson, okay? But I'm going to keep walking you through this process on what I did, okay? So basically from there, I had the green light. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take everything. I already outlined it in the book. So let me just go ahead and just start shooting videos, walking people through the process, right? And giving them a deeper dive into all of this stuff. So I told them that I was working on something. I was going to be releasing it soon. I'll give them more details, but they'll have to be opening their emails in order to see it. That's the only place I'm gonna post it. And mind you, there wasn't really I don't even think Facebook was a thing yet. There was definitely no paid ads that I was running. So this was all organic, by the way, and a very tiny list. So the day finally came that I said, okay, I am ready to not open the doors. This is where you do not want to do that. You want to make sure that you kind of like, you let them know something's coming. So maybe a week out, I said, I'm going to do this thing and I'm letting you know first. And on this date at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be opening the doors to this video training. And it's going to be all about this process that I've been sharing with you, but it's going to be very detailed. It's going to go right along with the ebook, but it's going to go much deeper. And I'm going to also give you some additional trainings that aren't in the ebook. And so then I would send out a video with like a little bit of what I was going to be teaching in there. I'd give them something that was valuable, like just a little piece of it. And they would email me back and go, oh my gosh, this is going to be so awesome. I can't wait. And this is what blew me away. And I still get this that happens to this day whenever I kind of run through this process. I had someone say to me, Scott, how do I give you my credit card now? I want to make sure that I get access to this. So when you get that, holy mackerel, you know that you're on it. You know you hit the mark. And so when I got that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like I've never had anybody say, like, just give me a place to put my credit card. I want to buy this thing. So what I did for that entire week was I think I sent out 3 videos. They were short, maybe 7 minutes long, 10 minutes long, with a little piece of what I was going to be teaching, but it gave them a lesson. And then I also said, this is just part of what's going to be happening inside of this video training. If you're interested, make sure you jump on the wait list. And I started building a little wait list, right? And all I was doing is having them opt into another form, and then that was putting them on a separate list. Now in Aweber, they didn't allow you to do what you can do now in ConvertKit, where we just tag people. So I actually literally had to have them opt into another list, and now I had them in 2 places on a list, and I was paying to have them on 2 lists, which was a mess, but that's how I did it back then. And so what ended up happening was we get to the day that it was going to go live, and I'll never forget this either. Back then, there wasn't any timers. There wasn't anything that would automatically switch over to a page. So you literally had to take your link, create the link, and then when you wanted that link to change to something else, you had to go in and literally change it through your web hosting. So it was a lot harder. And so I didn't realize this until about midweek that I wasn't going to be able to be home for this time, that the link was going to go live. So my wife was, and I was going to be at my son's and my daughter's bowling little club that they were in at school. I actually helped them in that. I was like a bowling coach with the teacher there. And actually she was the principal. And so I couldn't be home. And you didn't have a laptop really. I mean, you had one, but I didn't have one. So I couldn't do it there at the bowling alley. So I had to tell my wife, I'm like, listen, here's all you need to do. At 3 o'clock, I want you to change this link this URL. I want you to just change the name of it to this, and that's it. And then just hit save and you're done. And she's like, oh my gosh, I hope I get this right. I go, no, it's easy. You'll be fine. Just do that, hit save, you'll be good. And so then I got a phone call at 3:05. And I remember it was on my little track. I had a track phone. I think it was a flip phone. And I get it. I get the call. And it was my wife. And she's like, oh my gosh, I just turned it over. And we've got like $3,500 in the account. Or maybe it was like 4,000. It was crazy, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like really? And she's like, yeah. And mind you, this was, I believe at the time, this first one we did was either $97 or $147. It was, I forget now. I should probably go back and try to figure that out. But it was between 97 and 147. And so she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, hold on a minute. So she refreshed the browser and we instantly had another like $800 in there. And I'm like, holy crap. And then she refreshed it again and there was another $500 in there. And it just seemed like every time she would refresh, it would keep going up, right? Well, it eventually stopped going up. And that first day we ended with $7,000 in our PayPal account, okay? Now, let me put this into context for you. At that time, we had our photography studio. In fourth quarter, we were hoping to generate between $10,000 and $12,000 so that would carry us in our off season. We were hoping to bank that money and to kind of go above what we normally make, right? Actually, as a little surplus. We always used to count on that. We got $7,000 in one day. It was absolutely mind-blowing, okay? So now day 2, now this was a 3-day launch. It was going to be open for 3 days. I think I opened on a Wednesday, and then it was open on a Thursday and closed on a Friday, or maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I forget, but it was 3 days. So we let them know there was a deadline. We let them know when it was going to open. Now, we didn't limit how many people could buy, okay? I've done that in the past, and I'll do it again in the future. It works really well. And there's a reason why we closed it. And there's a reason you have to give people why you're running a promotion and why there's a deadline. And it was very simple for me on why there was a deadline and it was only going to be open for 3 days. Well, I needed to support these people. I've never supported this many people in a training ever, right? So I basically said, listen, I'm closing it on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day it was. And the reason is because I need to make sure that I can support all of these new students coming through. And that's exactly what I ended up doing, right? And we ended up closing on day 3, which is crazy because on day 3, so it went like this. Day 1 was like 7,000. Day 2 was 1,000. So it was like trickling. That's always the case in a launch, by the way. And day 3, which was probably 2 or 3 emails, we closed with $4,500 in sales. Okay. So total, it's like $12,500. It was actually probably a little bit more than that. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I know it was over $12,500 though. Okay. So all of a sudden, I just remember, wow, what the heck just happened? Like, what the heck just happened? Right. And this was all within 6 months of me building this email list. Now, am I saying that that's going to happen if you build an email list to 1,000 people? No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, though, is if you find what people want and what they need and you become of service to them, okay, and you find those right people and you find out what they want that they're willing to pay you for, you can sell some product. That's all I'm saying, right? And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, because this here was a game changer for me. This was a moment that just changed everything. Just as so did the time I left my construction job and went into a brick and mortar business with my wife in photography. That changed everything for me. I'm like, wow, I can actually do this, right? The other day we talked about building confidence as an entrepreneur. This was something that built my confidence, right? As an entrepreneur, it was something completely different. But here's the crazy thing. As soon as that happened, I went on this high, right? For maybe like 3 or 4 days. And then all of a sudden, I started doubting myself. I started saying, okay, Scott, you did it. You did that one time. Can you do it again? Is this repeatable? And then I started to doubt myself. So I didn't want to do this like every week, right? So I decided to do it. I think I did it like 6 weeks after. And we actually outdid the one that I just talked about. The next one was like probably closer to $19,000. And then I was riding a high and then I was like, holy crap, can I do this again? Then I actually found an affiliate partner that was publishing in the photography space. And I did my first little mini affiliate launch where they actually promoted to their list. That one there blew me away. We did close to $50,000 in one launch. So I'm sharing this with you to let you know that this process hasn't really changed, okay? And you don't need to have a massive list. You don't need to have affiliate partners necessarily, right? And you don't need an expensive product, all right? Now, you guys know that I talk about creating little digital books, right? These little guides. I have one. I actually have a couple more that are being produced as we speak, right? And this is a way for you to create a digital product and then build a little back-end funnel of other additional resources, templates, products, whatever, physical products, doesn't matter. It's a way for you to create something that you have that's digital, that has an unlimited supply. There's no inventory to worry about. You just got to make sure that people are getting what they paid for. And that's it. All right. So this all was done, by the way, with email. Okay. I had no retargeting ads, didn't know what retargeting was. All I had was an email list, YouTube. That's all I had back then. I had nothing else. I didn't have a blog. I didn't have anything, right? All I had was that email list. And that's really what did this launch. I did an internal, they call it an internal launch to my list only. And I was able to do that because I built the relationship with the list, but I also attracted the right people in the list. So I'm going to fast forward now a little bit. And this whole thing has come full circle. 5 years ago, I started a podcast called the Amazing Seller Podcast, and I had no product to sell. All I knew was if I was able to find the right people, help those people, they would probably tell me what they would want to buy, and then I could offer it to them if I could deliver on that product. Well, I did exactly what I did here that I just explained using that same model. I did 50 podcast episodes. I built up really good relationship with my audience. I built an email list. And I believe at that time, the email list was probably just under 10,000 people. Okay. I decided to, after hearing from the audience, putting together my first ever e-commerce course, teaching people what I had done. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to create the course until I pre-sell 25 spots. And so I did a webinar and I jumped on there. I had about 400 people on there live, maybe 500. And I made my first ever offer to that audience after probably close to 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months again. And the price point was $497. And I said, if I get 25 people that want me to create this here tonight, I'll create it. Well, my mind was blown again because in less than a minute, we had 25 spots filled and we had to literally close the button or the payment option. And to be honest, we actually sold 28 spots by accident because we couldn't turn it off fast enough. Now we honored those, but that wasn't my intention. The point here is if you deliver goodwill, you don't come out of the gate with, I'm going to just monetize this audience. You are a little patient with it. You let the audience tell you, you build the right audience, the rest will fall into place. And that's what I've always modeled. Okay. So that's like 10 years later, right? From this story I just shared with you this morning, right? And the same thing has happened numerous times and it will happen again in the future as I create more offers for my audience here in Brand Creators, which I have some planned here coming soon. Brand Accelerator Live is one of those digital products now. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, I should probably, if I can find my little area here, I should probably put that up there. Brand Accelerator Live Virtual happening this Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Tickets are available now. Super affordable. Okay, super affordable. BALtickets.com. I'm going to leave it at that. If you're interested, great. If you're not, no big deal. But if you want, number one, there's 2 sessions in there that if you invested in this day, there's 2 sessions, actually 3 sessions in there that will be worth way more than your investment. Number one, I'm going to show you exactly how to create a digital product from scratch and sell it in 30 days. Number 2, we're going to show you how to build an email list from scratch, okay? And Chris Schaefer is going to show you how to run Facebook ads to any offer that you want or a lead magnet and how to master that in 7 days. Now, I didn't have Facebook ads back then. I wish I had, but in the same breath, I'm glad I didn't because it taught me about organic. And you still can do it with a very, very small list. But with Facebook, it amplifies things very, very quickly. So those are just 3 things. I also have Cassidy Tuttle coming on, who she's going to be teaching how she has taken a $10 digital product, built an email list by selling it and generating over $12,000, actually a little bit more. I think it's like $15,000, at least $12,000 in 30 days using this same model, but she's using Facebook ads to drive traffic. So that's another session. So guys, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and sell you on this. You know if it's the right fit for you, but I will tell you this. It is going to be dialed in. It's going to be focused. It's not going to be any hype. It's not going to be any dance party. All right. Like if we were at the event, we would do a little bit more. Let's dance, right? Let's get up and let's get rocking, right? We'll have a little bit of some high energy stuff, but it's really about let's roll our sleeves up and let's get to work for this entire day so you can walk away with an action plan and you can implement this stuff. That's what it's all about for me. All right. So if you're interested, baltickets.com. It's a one-day workshop. It will also come with a workbook that we have created for you. Plus, I have a couple of bonuses that I'm going to be giving you. Actually, those other digital products that I've been working on, they're finally ready, and they're going to be given away to our attendees. So if you're interested, definitely go to baltickets.com, and I'll leave it at that. All right, so let's look at the questions or comments if you guys have any. I've seen a bunch flying through. Okay. Is your launch runway dependent on the price of the product? It could be. If I was just starting out, I wouldn't start with a product that's more than $197, to be honest with you. I would probably lean towards, I would start with something that's under $19 and then graduate up. It's going to be easier for you to get someone to purchase something less expensive and then build that rapport, because then they're going to be like, holy crap, look at the look at the quality, look at the information that this person gave me for this ridiculously low price. I can't imagine what their $97 training is going to be like, right? So it's always about over delivering too. So I would say take the pressure off of yourself, come up with a really killer offer that's under $19, and then you can always bolt things on the back end. That's what I would recommend. Let's see here. Okay, how did you build the list of 1,000 people? I did it, back then it was all strictly through YouTube. And nowadays, I'm not hardly using YouTube. I mean, I repurpose my stuff there, but it's not a strategy of mine anymore. It's very, very saturated. And I just want to spend my time elsewhere, right? So I would rather pay for ads nowadays because it's a lot easier. But you can do it from your website if you have web traffic. But I would say to get to 1,000 people is really easier than it ever was. And we're actually going to show how to do that at baltickets.com. That's the Brand Accelerator Live, by the way. Little plug there. Nancy, what's up, Nancy? Your videos always help me get in the high mode again. Thank you, Scott. Life is so difficult, and your talks always help bring back into the mode I need to be in. Hope all is well. Nancy, good to see you. And yes, it's all about trying to stay positive because, not everything is perfect. Everything has highs, everything has lows. We just got to stick with it. So yeah, but hey, Nancy, good to see you. Atlanta in the house. What's up? Better late than never. Yeah, Derek, no problem. Glad you made it. And yes, I seen that you got your ticket. So Derek, we'll see you on Saturday. And Jamie is an alumni. Can't wait. Very excited for BAL 2021. Well, 2021. Fingers crossed, we're going to be in the same room together. So that's still slated. We're still booked. We still have a contract with the hotel. But BAL 2020 is going to be virtual. We're going to make it a one-day workshop. So yeah. When do we get details for the VIP? Well, Derek, if you got the VIP, you are going to be getting emailed here probably tomorrow, Friday. And that's why we are closing ticket sales on Friday night, because we want to make sure that everyone is getting all of the information that they need so they can access the virtual room and all of the recordings when they're ready. Let's see. What is the leanest budget you would use for Facebook ads to start? Right now, it doesn't even matter where you're at in the process. We always start at like $5 a day. And then we let Facebook learn. There's a learning little period that Facebook will learn by you just setting a few of these parameters, like giving it like your target audience, who you want to target, and then let it learn. And you let it learn for maybe a couple of days, and then it will get out of learning mode, and then it starts to really start to ramp up. Then the cool thing is, and Chris Schaefer is going to show how to do this, it'll auto scale, meaning you can say, if I get email opt-ins for 50 cents or less from that spend, increase my budget by 20% every single day. And we've done this, and it just continually scales until it might break. And then from there, you can go and look at it and go, okay, I guess I found my threshold and I'm getting 50 opt-ins a day. I'm good with that, right? And I'm spending $30 or whatever, right? So that's the cool thing. Actually, Chris is going to show you exactly how to do that inside of the Facebook ads session on Saturday. Derek, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. You're hyped. Octavio, what's up, man? Looking forward to BAL Virtual. Going to be awesome. Yes, Octavio, I'm so glad that you're going to be there, brother. And Charles just reminded me to take a sip of coffee. All right. And let's see. Karen has a question here. Will you be talking about bundling products for the upsell? We don't have that necessarily slated for like the building of the digital product. There will be a little bit mentioned there of that, Karen. But Karen, what you're talking about, that's probably going to be a detailed session that we're going to have to do inside of Brand Creators Academy, to be quite honest with you. And who knows, maybe we should just take you as an example, and we should take your products and talk about bundling them and what would make sense to mix and match them. And I know that you're always willing to be in one of those hot seats. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to schedule a time to do that for you. But yeah, I think for sure, bundling is a great idea to increase the value and just give them a ton of value. Looking forward to Saturday. Yeah, Salman, looking forward for you being there and super excited. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I got to roll here. I got to be out of here in about an hour. So I got to finish packing up this place, head on back. My daughter's doing virtual schooling, so she's going to be in the car on her lunch break. And then we have to get back home and get situated. And yeah, so I just wanted to jump on here. Friday, we will be doing our Friday jam session. I will be putting out the topic that we'll be talking about. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions, let me know. But Friday jam session, we will be still doing as we do every Friday. So that'll be this Friday. And again, if you haven't grabbed your ticket yet, go to baltickets.com. It's our one-day workshop event. It's going to be on Saturday. Starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It officially will be kicking off at 9:30. We'll have a little, kind of like a little pre-party, I should say, or a let's get in the room together and get situated and kind of go over some things. And then from there, we'll kick it off at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure that you are there. And some people have asked if they can get recordings. And the answer is yes, with the VIP option. And you'll also get recordings to last year's Brand Accelerator Live 2019. So, yeah. So, oh, wait a minute. Just one last question from Derek. Will you be showing us how to use ConvertKit or some other autoresponder to capture the emails? The answer is yes. And Derek, there's also something, and I'm not going to give it away, but during Chris's session on how to build the email list, there's going to be a little bonus there that we're giving away that's going to show you everything you need to know. I promise. All right. So a little bonus there, a little teaser. But there's going to be, look at Brody just got down. Bro, I didn't even know Brody was on my couch back there. All right, guys, I got to run. Would love to see you there on Saturday. Again, baltickets.com starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tickets are available up through Friday night. So if you haven't grabbed yours, grab them before then. And until Friday or Saturday, take care, take action, and I will talk to you soon. All right. Have an awesome, amazing day. Take care, guys. Bye.